October 1907, a banker walks into a room of trembling millionaires. Outside, crowds riot at bank doors. Inside, one man holds a pen. "Sign here," he says. "Give me control or watch everything burn." They signed within 6 weeks. J.P. Morgan owned half of Wall Street, not through luck, through crisis. A crisis some say he created. A crisis that gave birth to the Federal Reserve. A crisis whose playbook is being used right now. If your bank account feels smaller while billionaires get richer, that's not coincidence. It's the 1907 playbook. Updated, refined, perfectly legal. To understand what's happening to your savings right now, we need to go back, not to theory, to a documented moment when one man used panic to reshape American finance forever. What I'm about to show you isn't taught in business schools. It's too revealing, too uncomfortable, because it shows exactly how crisis creates opportunity for those who see it coming. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, and right now, the rhyme is deafening. The pattern you're about to see has played out 4 times in modern history: 1907, 1929, 2008, and now, quietly, inevitably, again. Each time, the same stages. Each time, the public loses. Each time, power consolidates. If your grocery bill jumped and your paycheck didn't, that's not random. If your rent climbed while your landlord claims rising costs, that's not market forces. It's stage 3 of a 5-stage pattern that started with J.P. Morgan in a locked library on an October night in 1907. Here's what nobody tells you. Every major financial crisis in American history has resulted in more centralized banking power. Every single one. The Panic of 1907 created the Federal Reserve. The 1929 crash created the FDIC. The 2008 crisis created too big to fail. Each crisis more control, each rescue fewer players. Let me take you to New York City, 1907. The city is exploding with wealth. The Gilded Age is in full bloom. Millionaires build mansions on Fifth Avenue. The stock market hits record highs. Everyone's getting rich, or so it seems. But beneath the surface, something is cracking. America runs on trust. Trust in banks. Trust in the stock market. Trust that when you deposit money, you can withdraw it. That trust is about to shatter, and one man is positioned perfectly to profit from the collapse. John Pierpont Morgan, 70 years old, the most powerful banker in America. He controls railroads, steel companies, banks. His wealth is estimated at $80 million, equivalent to $2 billion today. Source: Ron Chernow, the House of Morgan, but he wants more, not just wealth, power, the kind of power that comes from being indispensable. Spring 1907, the stock market wobbles, small tremors, nothing serious, but Morgan watches. He's seen this before. The pattern is familiar. The signs are there. October 14, 1907, a Monday. The Knickerbocker Trust Company faces a problem. Rumors spread that the trust is overextended, involved in risky copper speculation. Depositors worry. A few withdraw money, then a few more. Tuesday, October 15th, the trickle becomes a flood. Knickerbocker Trust, the 3rd largest trust in New York, faces a full bank run. By 1 p.m., 200 people wait outside. By 3 p.m., over 1,000. By closing, the bank's reserves are gone. Source: Robert Bruner and Sean Carr. The Panic of 1907 that night, Charles Barney, Knickerbocker's president, walks home in a daze. His life's work is collapsing. He's desperate. He needs help. He needs Morgan. Morgan refuses, lets the bank die. Why? Here's what they don't teach. Knickerbocker competed with Morgan's banks. Its collapse would drive depositors to Morgan's institutions. Crisis creates opportunity. If you're prepared, Wednesday, October 16th, Knickerbocker Trust declares bankruptcy. Charles Barney, humiliated and ruined, retreats to his mansion. That night, he takes his own life with a pistol to the head. Source: NYT Archives, October 17, 1907. One man dead, but the panic is just beginning. Thursday, October 17th, the contagion spreads. If Knickerbocker could fail, any trust could fail. Crowds descend on trust companies across Manhattan. The Trust Company of America faces a massive run. By noon, it's on the verge of collapse. This is the moment Morgan has been waiting for. He summons the trust's executives to his office at 23 Wall Street. He examines their books for 90 minutes, calculating, assessing. Then he makes his move. This trust is solvent, he announces, but he doesn't just save it, he takes control. He'll provide liquidity, but he gets access to their accounts, their decisions, their future. Take it or collapse. They take it. Over the next 3 weeks, Morgan orchestrates the biggest power grab in American financial history. He locks bankers in his private library. Literally, doors locked from the outside. He forces them to create a fund to rescue failing institutions. But here's the twist. Morgan controls which institutions get saved and which die. His competitors, they die. His allies, they survive. His power, it grows. By early November, Morgan controls or influences half of New York's banking system. The crisis created the opportunity. The panic gave him the leverage. The government gave him the authority because nobody else could stop the bleeding. Source: Gene Strauss, Morgan, American financier. Let me tell you about Maria, an Italian immigrant seamstress in New York's Lower East Side, 32 years old, in 1907. She saved for 8 years, $412 in the Knickerbocker Trust, every penny earned from 16-hour days at a shirtwaist factory. October 16, 1907, she arrives at Knickerbocker at dawn. The doors are locked. A sign temporarily closed. Hours pass, the sun sets, the doors never open. Her life savings gone. Not stolen, not spent. Simply gone. The trust collapsed. The wealthy investors got settlements. Maria got nothing. Source: Robert Bruner, The Panic of 1907. Lessons learned from the market's perfect storm. Her story is echoed thousands of times across New York. Small depositors, workers, immigrants. They lost everything while Morgan's empire expanded. That's what panic does. Not to the powerful. To you, this collapse set a pattern, a template for crisis management that would be used again and again. Fast forward to 1929. October 29th, Black Tuesday, the stock market crashes. Banks fail. But notice what happens. The crisis leads to the Glass-Steagall Act, separating commercial and investment banking. More regulation, more centralized control. The pattern repeats. But here's the part that should terrify you. Glass-Steagall was repealed in 1999. Why? Because the banks wanted it repealed. They'd accumulated enough power to change the rules. 9 years later, 2008 arrives. September 15, 2008, Lehman Brothers collapses. The same playbook Morgan used in 1907 is deployed again, but now it's not one man in a library. It's the Federal Reserve, the Treasury Department, and a handful of megabanks. Bear Stearns, absorbed by J.P. Morgan Chase for pennies on the dollar. Merrill Lynch, absorbed by Bank of America. Washington Mutual, absorbed by J.P. Morgan Chase. Notice a pattern. Crisis eliminates competitors. Source: Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission Report, 2011, and the rescues. They come with strings, government money, federal oversight, but also guaranteed profits. The banks that survived 2008 emerged bigger, more powerful, more essential. Too big to fail became official policy. Morgan would have smiled. In 18 months during 2008-2009, American household wealth dropped $16 trillion. Source: Federal Reserve Flow of Funds Report, 2008-2009 retirement accounts halved, home values collapsed, a generation postponed retirement. But the banks, J.P. Morgan Chase, posted record profits in 2009. Goldman Sachs gave out $16 billion in bonuses in 2009. Source: Wall Street Journal, January 2010 Crisis for the many, opportunity for the few. The pattern doesn't end with 2008. It accelerates. It evolves. It happens again. March 2023, Silicon Valley Bank collapses. The 16th largest bank in America, gone in 48 hours. Signature Bank fails days later. First Republic teeters. What happens? J.P. Morgan Chase acquires First Republic's assets, $173 billion in loans and deposits. Source: FDIC press release, May 2023. The government facilitates the deal, makes it attractive, guarantees certain losses. J.P. Morgan Chase now controls assets worth over $3 trillion. Source: JPM Q2 2024 earnings report that's larger than the entire economy of France. One bank, $3 trillion. Notice something, the same three signs, in the same order, again: overextension, panic, consolidation. Morgan's 1907 playbook, executed with 21st century efficiency. So what does this mean for you? For us? For right now, it means your savings are caught in a pattern you didn't choose. As of October 2024, the national debt stands at $35 trillion. That's $270,000 per taxpayer. Source: U.S. Treasury Department. The interest payments on that debt now exceed the entire defense budget. Source: Congressional Budget Office. 2024, your grocery bill. A dozen eggs cost $2 in 2020. Today, $6. Source: USDA Price Index. October 2024, that's a 200% increase in 4 years. Your paycheck increased what? 3% annually? The gap between what you earn and what you can buy is widening, not by accident, by design. Because crisis creates opportunity for those positioned to exploit it. Rent in major cities climbed 35% from 2020 to 2024. Source: Zillow Rent Index. September 2024, healthcare premiums jumped 30%, while coverage decreased. Source: Kaiser Family Foundation. 2024 student loan debt stands at $1.7 trillion. Source: Federal Student Aid. 2024, but we have safety nets now, you might say. The FDIC protects deposits. Maria, in 1907, thought her trust was safe too. Charles Barney thought his bank was too established to fail. They were wrong. The question isn't whether safety nets exist, it's whether they protect you or the system. When Silicon Valley Bank collapsed in 2023, the government guaranteed all deposits, even those over the $250,000 FDIC limit. Why? To prevent contagion, to protect the system. But who benefits most from a stable system? The largest banks, the ones positioned to absorb the competition. This time is different. Every generation says this. 1907 had trusts instead of banks. 2008 had derivatives instead of copper speculation. 2023 has crypto and fintech. The instruments change, the pattern doesn't. The cycle continues. Each time, the lesson goes unlearned. Each time, power consolidates. Each time, the gap widens between those who see the pattern and those who suffer from it. 3. Financial panics. 3 waves of consolidation. 3 moments when the powerful became more powerful. Morgan in 1907, the Fed-backed megabanks in 2008, and now, quietly, the same banks positioning for the next crisis. Because there will be a next crisis, there always is. The pattern demands it. Overextension creates vulnerability. Vulnerability creates panic. Panic creates opportunity. For those prepared, your grocery receipt tells a story. Your rent increase writes a chapter. Your shrinking savings account is a data point. The question is, whose story is being written, yours or theirs? Morgan understood something fundamental. Crisis is profitable if you're holding the rescue fund. The banks understand this today. They're bigger than ever, more essential than ever. Too big to fail is now too big to prosecute, too big to regulate, too big to challenge. 117 years after Morgan locked those bankers in his library, the game hasn't changed. The players are different, the stakes are higher, but the pattern identical. So here's what I can't stop thinking about. Are we watching history repeat? Or are we living through the next chapter of a story that started in 1907? Is consolidation inevitable? Or is there a way to break the cycle before the next panic hits? When did you first notice something was off? Was it when your bank got absorbed by a bigger bank? When fees increased while services decreased? When you realized your deposits fund the very system that's making saving impossible? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. Because your experience is part of this pattern. And the more we understand it, the more we see what's coming. If this connected dots you hadn't connected before, if you're seeing the pattern for the first time, hit subscribe. Every week we dive into the cycles they don't teach, the patterns that repeat, the power grabs hidden in plain sight. Thank you for watching this through. The pattern is clear, the timeline is accelerating, and the next chapter is being written right now. I'll see you in the next one.